week I'm talking with Robin and CB, the new owners of the Ninth House shop here in Tucson. We're talking about a new facet of the shop, the 11th House, a community space they're developing in the shop and online. I've been able to experience the 11th House myself in a class that Robin is running this month. We talk about building community, adding sound to your practice, and what's coming up soon at the Ninth House. I do want to let listeners know that this was an in-person interview done on location, so the audio might be a little bit funky at times. Robin and CB, hello. Welcome to Your Average Witch.
Hello, thank you so much for having us.
Hello.
Robin, welcome back.
Thank you. I love your podcast.
Oh, yay. Thanks. I love your shop.
We love it too.
So we're in person, so if it sounds a little bit weird, that's why. Sorry if it's weird. I'm going to try and fix it in post. That's so fancy. So, can you please introduce yourself and let everybody know who you are and what you do and where they can find you on the internet?
Sure.
And in person.
So I'm Robin Doxey. I'm an Akashic Records psychic and co-owner of the 9th and 11th House here in Tucson. I do a lot of intuitive development, psychic readings, as well as I'm available here in the shop to just kind of guide and answer any questions people who are seeking ritual or intuitive questions, or, how best to use their crystals. I like to do a lot of the ritual stuff and intuitive development.
Robin is our head witch in charge. And I'm CB. I am a professional astrologer, a Reiki master teacher, and a sound healer, amongst many other things. I am the other co-owner of the 9th and 11th houses. And I do most of the back-end stuff. So I build all of our operational and organizational systems. I do all of our events programming. I'm sort of the behind-the-scenes person working in the shadows, making sure everything runs as smoothly as possible. And you can occasionally find me out in the shop helping people find the right magical tools for their purposes. But I'm definitely more of a behind-the-scenes kind of person. So.
And I will have to say, CB is just the most amazing co-owner with this Capricorn stellium, Aquarian mind that can just Tetris a system together so beautifully, while I'm that Gemini chaos that just gets to order all the things. So what used to be like a very muted place suddenly exploded into rainbows. And I also wanted to say that as a shop and a community space, this is a queer and minority owned business. And my pronouns are she, her.
And my pronouns are they, she.
So we really also, not as just a ritual space, but also as a community safe space for accepting people and really desiring that people come in as they are and not have to mask or hide, as some people do out in that typical world.
The places you can find us on the internet are at robindoxy.com, at the11thhouse.space, the9thhouseshop.com, and you can find us on Instagram at the 9th House Shop, and Robin's Instagram is at robindoxy, and mine is elemental_empowerment.
What's the TikTok one?
The real 9th House Shop.
Ooh, the real 9th House Shop, you guys.
We lost access to the original one in the transfer of ownership of the business. So we're the real 9th House Shop, just in case there's any confusion.
Well, I know what the 9th house is because I've been here a bunch of times, but can you tell me what the 11th house is?
So the 11th house sort of manifested itself after maybe 6 months of us owning the 9th house. We were able to bring back the community event space that the 9th house had previously been able to offer. And as we were sort of building events back, bringing back classes, bringing back workshops, we sort of realized that this element of the space was just as important as the shop part. That being a place where people can come to gather, to learn, to share experiences, to heal and empower themselves was sort of just as important as providing the tools and the knowledge for whatever your practice is. So we kind of decided that it needed its own house. The ninth house in astrology is all about expanding the mind, expanding consciousness. It's all about learning. So we sort of took the same concept, the same naming concept. The 11th house in astrology is all about community. It's the ways in which we gather, the ways in which we network, the ways in which we support each other sort of on a larger scale outside of just inner circles of family and friends. So we chose the name the 11th house in order to sort of fulfill that mission of being a place where people can come and gather safely to learn, to heal, to grow.
And also just to connect. You know, the world became very small and isolated at the same time, and people are just wanting connection. So we're providing community events that we provide for free, as well as classes and healing modalities for people to connect with like-minded others.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Yeah, there aren't witch churches.
Not
And
here.
This kind of feels like not a church, but that sort of gathering space where you can come have fellowship.
Yeah, the fellowship aspect of it is very present. The church part, not so much. We sort of are intentionally not aligning ourselves with any one ideology, any one denomination, you know, whatever word you want to call it, in order for the space to be accessible and inclusive to as many people as possible.
We do try to provide products for various lineages. Again, because we are inviting the community to come as they are and explore their own lineage. So everything is very carefully curated and researched, that the products we are bringing in are ethical, but also varied enough so that there's a little bit of something for everyone.
Do you have any examples?
Mm-hmm. So we have the pagan from Northern and Eastern Europe. We have some products for some of the traditions from West Africa, from South America, mainly the northeast side of South America, from Central America, Mexico, Afro-Caribbean, yeah, and
Central America and indigenous Mexican.
I currently don't have very much on Hinduism and Buddhism, but I do carefully curate crystals from around the world that hold the energy of those lands. We do not carry figures. It's been asked, but we don't carry any deities or figures just because there's such a wide variety. It would be impossible to represent everything. We're still exploring that. We're also exploring bringing in practices and events from different lineages, such as cacao ceremony. We want to maybe explore some different types of drumming circle experiences. We just celebrated 1 year, so we have all these great ideas that are going to it just takes time for them to organically evolve into manifestation.
And for us to meet the right practitioners to facilitate those things who are not us. We are not the people to do those types of things because that is not our lineage. So we are actively seeking people of color, people who have been initiated into these lineages appropriately and properly to facilitate these experiences for the community.
That was my next question. But you did bring something up. I love how sound-oriented y'all are because I didn't realize how much I need that in my practice, but I super do. And it's not something people talk about very much.
Yeah, well, both of us being sound healers, it's a huge part of our sort of personal practices, and then the work that we started doing together initially started with building our signature sound healing offering, which is called Refresh. But sound is one of those almost universal components of almost every spiritual practice, whether it's chanting, drumming, using instruments, using tools. Like, sound features itself in across lineages, across the world. So it's kind of one of those like unifying moments, being able to connect to people and to source, to ancestors, and to all the other things that you're trying to work with. It can be such a powerful tool for that connection that everyone can access.
So sound healing is really important to us, and really where we shine. One of the places that we shine. But the other thing is, a lot of people come in and want to empower their own private practice without like hiring or paying for something. And sound is something that is easily accessible. Mm-hmm. It is incredibly powerful on working with the energies, stirring up energies when people are wanting to clear their space or move into a new space. Our sound instruments are what I suggest the first thing to do, because sound will agitate or activate energy. So having sound in your home, specifically bells, rattles, chimes, is just incredibly powerful that everybody can do themselves. And that also builds confidence in people when they are doing the actual cleaning for themselves. They gain confidence in their own power, their own energy, and just kind of have agency and sovereignty over their space. And that is a goal that we have at the Ninth House, is to teach people that you can go out and get a professional, but you can also do it yourself. Everybody has that inherent ability to, own their own magic, own their own power. And we're doing it one bell at a time.
So when is that? This is how you sound clear your house class. Because the only time I hear it mentioned is when people are like, I need alternatives to smoke. That's the only time it comes up in conversation that I've seen.
So we teach a lot about sound in the mentorship program that we built a couple years ago. I teach a whole section on sound in my Reiki training workshops. It's a huge part of both of our practices, and because it's so accessible, you don't need to go out and buy like a whole litany of instruments or any like expensive perfect pitch sound bowls. Like, you can literally snap and clap, and it's just as effective. If you like to have tools, if you like to have a variation of sound, you can definitely go buy them, but you can start with free, and that's always nice. But I think it's becoming more and more popular with the proliferation of sound baths, of sound healing. I think it's not quite as in the public consciousness as smoke cleansing is, because that had such a big boom, a few years ago.
Sephora.
Yeah. And now you can buy white sage at Anthropology, So we haven't quite hit that level of critical mass with sound healing, but it's definitely on the rise.
So another fun thing that we do is the 11th house has what we call power hours, where you can learn a skill in 1 hour. And we have those, we try to do one a month. The most popular one that we've done is how to use a pendulum and beyond the yes-no question. And our power hours, we are, again, we just opened 1 year ago. So right now the power hours have been in person, and we are going to be moving those into like the online virtual space, and eventually be able to have them in digital form so people can download them and view them at their own time and at their own pace. And
we are building a sound healing, sort of intro to sound healing power hour that will hopefully feed its way into a larger sound healing training offering.
Cool. I like digital stuff because I don't like touching things with my hands or going anywhere.
The benefit of the in-person with sound healing specifically is that you would get to be able to use all of the tools that we already have in the shop as a demo.
Oh, yes.
For virtual things, you'd sort of have to bring your own stuff or learn about it in theory before you went out and decided to purchase anything. But there is still a lot of value in the virtual, especially for people who are not located locally in Tucson, people who don't like to go out in public, who don't like to be around people. As our resident black cat, I definitely identify with that a lot. So I'm passionate about increasing our virtual offerings in order to tap into that group of people.
Okay, I'm going to tell the audience what sorts of things that I saw in here recently because I'm coming to a class every Sunday. So, what are those? Not hand pans.
Hand pans?
Are they called hand pans?
Yeah, it's a type of steel tongue drum.
Hand pans, tuning forks, what are the chimes?
Koshi chimes.
Those. I'm sure you have sound bowls somewhere.
Currently, we are sold out of sound bowls.
But they have them
I will
somewhere
have to
sometimes.
say,
We have Tibetan.
there are some people that we shall not call by names because names have power, who created tariffs that make sound bowls so ridiculously expensive. However,
A lot of them come from India and China.
I have a lot of contacts, and in September we are exploring friends to see if there's maybe any hidden back stuff that I can bring in at the price point that sound bowls should be at, rather than the inflated one. So I'm not yet willing to bring in that inflated price, because I'm really mad at the one who shall not be named for doing such an idiotic thing.
I'm not going to go into that because I worked out today and I don't want to have a heart attack. So
We do have also the steel tongue drums. We have wah-wah tubes, which are a type of tuning fork. However, you don't have to hold it to your ear to hear the hum. It's wah-wahing all around your energetic field.
So they do what tuning forks do with vibration with tone. So you hear a chime sounding tone as opposed to like the hum of a vibration of a fork. They do the same thing, it's just they manipulate sound in slightly different ways.
Oh, I like gongs. And there's those behind me.
Mm-hmm.
We like the
want a
gongs.
gong.
Yeah, we also have like single tone chimes, like the kind of meditation chime you would hear maybe at the end of a yoga class. And we also carry what we call Tibetan tranquility bowls. So they're slightly smaller than a normal Tibetan bowl. You can sort of chime them just as a single chime or play them around, but they produce sort of that same kind of higher pitched tone that really is effective for breaking up stagnant energy.
And I'm going to put a little teaser out, but I am also sourcing for crystal pyramids. So they're crystal singing pyramids. And the calmness and they're going to open your chakra centers and just kind of blow the top off your head. And when you have like crystal palm stuff, like it is an energetic experience. That is absolutely amazing. So that's just a little teaser. They'll be coming in. I'm bound and determined.
I can show you one. I've got one in the back.
Mm-hmm.
That's exciting. So with the 11th house, I'm in the process of taking my first class, and it's a nice space. What else are you doing with the space when you aren't having classes?
So the space is always open and accessible to the public. So we have tables set up, we have chairs set up for people just to be able to come in, and it's air conditioned.
Hallelujah.
And just have a space to relax and chill and visit with their friends. We also have an open demo deck for every tarot and oracle deck that we have. So it's a fun place for people to kind of come and explore the decks, or just have a relaxing place to wait or gather and visit with each other.
Yeah, so you can come here. If there's not an event going on in the space, it's open to the public. You can bring your decks, you can flip through one of ours, pull cards for yourself. We've had people come in to like craft with each other. We have people come in to co-work sometimes. It's sort of just like a blank canvas for people to come in and use in respectable, ways, obviously. But it's kind of just open for our community to come in and be in like a quiet, safe space to practice, to sit with their friends, to work, to kind of do whatever. And we sort of keep the space like open and accessible for that when we're not doing events.
So the other thing that this space is you can soak up the metaphysical vibes. So for those who have come here and studied, this place gets regular cleansings. It is highly energetic, protective, and it just vibes. There's just like, it's got that rich, juicy, metaphysical vibes going on here. And
got a lot of crystals in the shop.
We got a lot of crystals. We've got a lot of herb blends that we do smoke cleansing with. Obviously, a lot of sound cleansing. But there's also a lot of infusion of, I would say, cleansing, focusing, protective energies. The shop itself is a living entity. The ninth house has its own chart. The 11th house is the ninth house sibling. And so we regularly interact with the shop entities who really, really are kind of possessive and caring about the people who come in.
Yeah, it definitely works as sort of a protective spirit to help keep the safe space, to help keep the space protected and neutral for people to come in and do whatever they need to do here.
So I have questions from some local witches or witch adjacent people. So Ashley asks, is it a private social club where there's a membership involved? What will the atmosphere be like? Will it be inclusive? We've already said yes. And would there be drinks and snacks available for purchase, or could people bring that in?
So it's definitely not a private membership exclusive kind of thing. So no, if the shop is open and there's no event, you can come in and be in the space. You don't even have to buy anything. We don't currently have any kind of food and beverage, any concessions for purchase, but people are welcome to bring their own food and snacks in with them as long as they clean up after themselves.
Is it a bring enough to share like school?
I mean, not necessarily.
You have to feed the cashier.
Yeah, no. If you want to make an offering to the shop, go ahead. But no, it's not a requirement to have to share with the class.
So Gemini speaking here, we do have plans to bring in some fun witchy beverages under the ninth house label. And so I'm putting a call out because I want to manifest this. We need a refrigerated case. Not a big one, a small one. Our space is limited. I don't want to make it's not ever going to be a cafe. But if anyone out there has like a refrigerated case or a refrigerated case that is available for an excellent 8th house deal, then contact us at hello@thenighthouseshop.com.
So, like the sort of case that you see at the grocery store, like the end cap at the cashier
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Tall or just the short ones?
We would like to start short.
Cool. Okay, everybody, cross your fingers and light things on fire to make that happen. Please.
I hear the matches lighting already.
Amber of Ambling Witchcraft and one of my Hive House members
Woohoo, Hive House!
asks, what are you most excited about with this project? What opportunities does this area open up that we didn't have available before? And how did you get the idea? What inspired you?
So I think we talked a little bit about how we got the idea, but I think the opportunities that we're very excited about are really just to be able to expand the offerings that the shop has sort of already been known for, that we've started to develop, really to be able to bring in, like we mentioned earlier, facilitators and practitioners of variety of lineages to offer services and experiences to the community. The shop previously was known for a lot of tarot and astrology classes. We still do those. We still hold our monthly tarot and astrology salons, which are free community events. We have brought in our signature sound bath that I mentioned, and we have a monthly breath work. But we've also been expanding our roster to include classes about dream interpretation, about how to connect with your spirit guides.
Yeah.
We have a monthly mediumship circle that one of our in-house readers hosts. So we've been slowly able to expand, but we're really looking forward to bringing in, like Robin mentioned, cacao ceremony, potentially like drumming circles, meditation, sort of more intentional meditation practices, other types of healing modalities. And we've most recently launched a monthly ecstatic dance event, which has been a really powerful somatic practice that the community has responded very positively to. So, yeah, we've got a lot to look forward to, and the possibilities are kind of endless in a lot of ways.
I'm going to say, as a psychic practitioner and reader, the ecstatic dance has quickly become my favorite. It is so favorite of mine. It is so powerful in my body about being able to release the energy, especially just the energy that I am collecting from the chaos of just walking through public spaces and public discourse and some of that social media that just kind of spills on me. The ecstatic dance gives me an opportunity to like fully release that on a cellular energetic level that I refuse to work it. You're going to find me on the floor, wiggling, swaying, waving fans. Like that is I took a little bit of like a selfish stance on that of like, yeah, I'm not running any lights. I am dancing like I am a participant. So
Robin had a whole mystic mountain walk journey, the first one we ever did, where she just like marched in place with her eyes closed for about 25 minutes and walked up a mountain, and I just watched her have this like magical spiritual experience. It was very powerful.
It was the download, the purity of the download. Once I like got rid of all the frustrations and the stored stuff in my body, I literally had one of the most powerful downloads and spiritual experiences that I am still integrating. It just expanded my world. And also, stuff doesn't bother me as long.
It's fun.
Because it's become regular, that it is like my ability
You're getting that somatic release.
To release, just in between the dances has been really, really cool. I also want to talk about another healing thing. So we have all these fun, sundry things and tools that people can purchase. We have free events, we have classes, we have ticketed events. We are now bringing in healing services. So I struggle with lung issues, and I discovered halotherapy, which is Himalayan salt therapy. So we are bringing in the coolest halotherapy chamber for people to sit in and receive this healing experience. It is so incredible for lung conditions, for healing, inflammation conditions, and we're also going to include chromotherapy with it. So that's going to be the red and blue light therapy, and there will be meditation. It's just a moment of self to like come in. We've already got all the healing vibes in here. We've already got all the expansion vibes and protective vibes in here. So we're bringing in some healing services so that people can come in, find some relaxation, and just have a passive healing service. The only thing you have to do is sit and breathe.
So is it like a salt cave except it's portable?
It's a salt cave in the form of like a modern sauna type booth.
That's
Yeah.
what I was envisioning.
Yeah, and it has Himalayan salt built into it, so you're sitting, in the presence of the Himalayan salt built into the structure, and then a small machine sort of pumps in like salt-infused air, like
Microparticles.
microparticles of salt in the air.
It's not like
It's like going to the sea and inhaling the sea air.
It's literally like
it's not like a sandblasting cabinet.
it absolutely is.
It's not like dermabrasion.
But one of the things that Himalayan salt does is it creates these beautiful ions, and salt lamps don't exude it. They exude it like 2 to 3 inches. This is like actually bringing it into your body, and that salt attracts toxins. So toxins attach. And these are microparticles. This isn't like eating a tablespoon of salt. You're not going to taste it. It's literally like breathing ocean air with the Himalayan salts that are going to attract toxins, and then your body releases.
Yeah,
So
it triggers a detoxification process.
So the first time I did it, I did have like this massive allergy attack that I thought it was, and it was actually a detox where it just came out for like 20 minutes, and then I didn't have allergies for 3 weeks. It's really an incredible. I was like, I'm gonna try this woo-woo thing, and then I was like, oh, maybe it's not woo-woo. Maybe it's an actual like healing experience.
Well, and it also just it speaks to the fact that, like, we would never bring something into the shop that we don't believe in and have not experienced ourselves in some way or don't promote ourselves. So it's not, at first it sounds kind of like a gimmick, but it's not. There are actually, like, physiological and spiritual benefits, which is sort of a lot of the stuff that we offer in the healing arts. We really focus on the spiritual as well as the physiological benefits of whatever that healing practice is. Something that I talk about a lot in our sound baths is that there's a lot of actual physical benefits that the body experiences during meditation, during sound healing, during halotherapy. So we tend to pull in a little bit of the science into the woo to kind of ground it in reality for the folks who need it.
So the last couple questions are from another local listener. Can anyone host a class there, and how can I sign up to teach a class?
So we have a form. We have an application on our website at the9thhouseshop.com where you can fill out an application to host a workshop. Hosting a workshop here means that it gets put up on our website. We process all of the ticket sales. We sort of help market and promote your event, and we do pretty much all of the operational heavy lifting. So there's an application process to do that, just to make sure that the person hosting the thing is knowledgeable, has a level of expertise that is appropriate for teaching.
So weirdo off the street.
Yeah, right. So we do a level of vetting for that, to make sure that that's a high quality experience that the community will benefit from. We do also have an option to just rent the space at a flat hourly rate. We don't do any promotion or we don't run ticket sales or anything. That's all done by the renter. But if you want to just like have a place to come do whatever the thing is you want to do, we can rent the space at that hourly rate. And you just show up and do your thing.
So that's the first thing I thought of is like if there's a local coven who wants a space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could just rent for a private event.
We already have some groups that do and have rented the space where they can gather and in that case, for people who do it, it's completely run by them. It's closed to them. We will, if they want us to talk about it, we'll talk about it in the shop. We just don't put it on any of our media.
What else is going on with it that I haven't asked you yet?
So we have a grimoire. It is on our Patreon account. It is a subscription, and every week a new spell or ritual is dropped. It's my baby.
Robin spent, I think, over 200 hours building every single ritual, and making them look visually beautiful, making them incredibly comprehensive, so that even if you're a totally new beginner witch, you can do this type of work. And that for advanced practitioners, it's something that is interesting and maybe you've never done it this way. But it's a beautiful digital grimoire.
And one of the things that I really wanted to emphasize is that doing a ritual practice, having fun with a ritual practice, bringing that new power into your life, I wanted it to be affordable. So a majority of the ingredients or the tools can be found in your own home. This isn't a grimoire where you have to go out and buy a bunch of stuff. You
and hunt down like random rare
Stones.
herbs and crystals and like random ceremonial tools. Yeah.
Yeah. So the rituals in there, I tried to make very affordable, and that the tools and ingredients are stuff that you use over and over again, but in different ways. So my philosophy is you can know 10 things about 100 herbs, but if you know 100 things for 10 herbs, now you're really cooking with power.
And the grimoire itself, we tried to make accessible as well. So it's $7.99 a month through Patreon. And with that monthly fee, you get a spell every week. So there's already an archive. We launched it in April, so there's been one spell dropped a week every week since April. That's math that I can't do in my head, but that's a lot of spells. And it'll continue to go through the end of the year. Robin's already going back to the grimoire workbench for 2026's spells, but basically you have access to the archives, to the grimoire for as long as you subscribe. And yeah, we're hoping, it's definitely a nascent offering, but we're hoping to build that up into a community of people who are also engaging with it and able to kind of share insights and experiences with each other as well. So that's something that is near and dear to our hearts, and that has sort of just recently started to walk. The other thing is, I mean, we, like Robin said, we've just celebrated our 1-year anniversary of taking ownership of the shop. We've already done a lot of expansion work since then, but we've got some big plans. So everything that we've done in this first year really feels like the first step in the vision that we're trying to build. A vision that you yourself actually witnessed, a couple years ago when we all met in the business class. But yeah, we really want to be able to connect with people outside of Tucson. We really want to expand because there are so many communities around the country, around the world, that don't necessarily have access to trusted information, to trusted practitioners. Obviously, it's much easier in big cities because there you just have like so many more people. But Tucson is one of those like big little cities. So there's a lot of people here, but it can sometimes feel hard to know who to trust or to know where to go. And I know that feeling is everywhere, especially in this like sort of weird isolated time where everyone is, feeling disconnected, even though we're all incredibly connected all the time. So we're very excited about expanding the virtual and the online offerings in order to be able to reach more people outside of Tucson, and eventually hoping to build into some like really large scale offerings. So
yeah, one of the things that to my horror I have experienced in the community is the massive amounts of misinformation on social media from pseudo witches and con artists. And I think some of it is misinformation chalked up to like inexperience, acting like experience. But people have come in here looking for some stuff, and I'm like, what? Where did you get that? It was just, it was almost on the point of harmful. So
same in astrology. Pop astrology on social media has gotten out of control, and just like the level of nuance that is required for actual astrological practice has just disappeared. So there's so much misinformation, and then people come in being like, oh, I want to do this ritual for this thing because of, something I saw on TikTok. And then we have to sort of gently do a little bit of course correction to try and get to the bottom of what they're actually trying to do. But it's a lot of work to dispel that rampant misinformation across multiple modalities.
And also bringing nuance to some of the very, very large topics that have just kind of been, put down into a yes or no, right or wrong, fear-based or, type of thing on social media. So as a community center, as practitioners of ourselves who are devoted to high quality
and high ethical standards,
especially around energy and how we use energy, we want to be able to be that voice in the larger world community to, it's our activism against the misinformation. So this is one of the reasons why we want to go more into virtual and digital, so that the trust that we have built with our community here, we can also be that voice of safety and experience, knowledge, and offerings
to the larger community.
Yeah.
To the world at large.
To the world at large.
Whoever needs it.
I have to say, sometimes it really hurts. Sometimes it really hurts when people come in and say, oh, I'm really interested in it, but I've heard that evil things will come in. And I'm like, I am like,
the fear mongering is
oh my
rampant.
Gosh, it hurts me.
Yeah,
it hurts me that people come in with this bias and this belief system, and I am like, listen, my sweet soul, you have power. You do not have to give away your abilities because someone on TikTok said that this was evil.
You're allowed to buy your own tarot deck.
You're allowed to buy your own tarot deck.
Oh my God. If you want a tarot deck, buy it. Buy it.
Buy the one that fits you. How many people out there have been given a tarot deck that has no compatibility with your energy? We offer the largest selection of tarot and oracle decks in Southern Arizona. We have well over 100 choices, and we have those open so people can literally touch the cards and find what matches them. Everybody's energy is unique, and we want to foster the growth of everybody's uniqueness.
Any last words?
I mean, I don't know how you can top that, but
I do want to say thank you, Kim, for bringing us into your community again. The Hive. I love your Hive.
I've actually seen some, interacted with them.
I really love your Hive, and I want to just kind of really express thank you to your community and to you for giving us a voice.
Thanks for giving me a place.
Yeah.
Community in that, like, in-person community.
Also,
Yeah.
I just want
Whenever
to
you want it.
I do want to also say thank you, Kim, personally, for you coming to the classes, because I will say the energy that you bring to the ninth house is just beautiful and powerful. And I gotta let everybody out there know that Kim is hella psychic and one of my go-to people for just kind of upping my ritual game a little bit.
What? Robin talks about you all the time. Robin is like the president of your fan club.
That's really...
Ever since y'all were accountability buddies,
Oh, yeah.
real weird.
back in the day.
Yeah,
But that's what
honestly,
You're still my accountability buddy.
Yeah, exactly. That's the beauty of these relationships, is that, like,
yeah.
everyone gets to give and receive in equal measure. That, like, your gifts and strengths benefit those around you, and we get to benefit from that. So,
Yeah,
by
Me
proximity.
too.
Yeah. So thank you. Yeah, thank you for having us. If you're local in Tucson, stop by and say hi. And if you're from farther afield, find us online on social media, etc. Keep an eye out for virtual classes and offerings, and we'll hope to see you sometime.
We'll see you soon.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Your Average Witch. You can find us all around the internet on Instagram at Your Average Witch Podcast, Facebook.com/groups/Hivehouse, at www.youraveragewitch.com, and at your favorite podcast service. If you'd like to recommend someone for the podcast, like to be on it yourself, or if you'd like to advertise on the podcast, send an email to youraveragewitchpodcast@gmail.com. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next Tuesday.